3, 2, 1, let's go. Hi everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Boring JavaScript. I'm your host, the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and today we're going to be talking about 3 different methods of removing elements from arrays: the pop, the shift, and the slice. Are you ready? Let's get started. Now, before we show the first method of removing an element from an array, let's just talk about arrays real quick in JavaScript. Now, an array is a collection of things, and these things could be strings, numbers, functions, objects, other arrays if necessary. Doesn't really matter. Each array element is given an index number, and that index number starts always at number 0 and it ends with the length of the array minus 1. So whenever I talk about the start of the array, I am always talking about element number 0, whatever that happens to be. If I am talking about the end of an array, I am always talking about the very last element. And what is the number for the last element? It is always the length of the array minus 1. In this particular example, I have 10 different elements, so I know that my very last index is 9 because that is the length of the array minus 1. Again, all arrays start at index 0, they end at the length of the array minus 1. So start is at 0, the end is at length minus 1. So now let's take a look at pop. Our very first method is the pop method, and the pop method will remove an element off of the end of the array. So let's see how that works. Here's my array. It's a simple 9-element array, so these index numbers will be from 0 to 8 of different names. Here is the pop method. Now the pop method does 2 things that's very important. First of all, when it does the actual operation, that is grabbing the last element off of the array, the end of the array, it's going to return that. And so I am going to save that into a variable called last animal. But it does another important thing, is that when it does pop that off, when it does remove it from the array, it changes the original array. And to show you how that happens, I'm going to first do a console log on the original array itself. Then after the pop occurs, I'm going to tell you what animal I've gotten back, because remember, pop will return the element that was popped off of the array. And then finally, I am going to console log animals one more time to show you that it has indeed been removed from the array. You want to see how it works? Well, let's get into Node, and let's see what happens. Node pop. Sure enough, that's exactly what happens. Here is my original array of my 9 elements. I popped off lizard. Again, lizard is the very last element of the array, and my array now is missing lizard. So pop will remove an element off of the end of the array, return that element so you can save it if necessary, and it will modify your original array. Now the second method is the shift method. Now the shift method will do exactly the same thing as pop, except that instead of taking it from the end of the array, it will take it from the very beginning of the array, or the start of the array. Always element number 0. So here's my array, and here is the shift method. And just like pop, it will return the element that was shifted off of the array. So in this case, it should be shifting cat. And I'm going to store that into my first animal. And just like pop, it will modify your original array. So as before, I'm going to print out my original array. I'm going to do the shift. I'm going to tell you which animal I was able to get from the shift. And then I'm going to show you that animals has changed by taking cat off of the screen. You see how it works? Well, let's take a look. Let's go into Node and type in Node shift. Yep, that's exactly what happened. Here again, here's my original array. The first animal is cat, and yes, guaranteed, there's the first animal, cat. And here is my final array. And as you can tell, cat has now been removed from the array. So shift will take an element off of the start of the array, element number 0, return that element to you, and modify the original array. The third method for removing an element from an array is the splice. Now, while pop took it off at the end and shift took it off at the beginning, slice takes it out of anywhere. You get to specify the element that gets spliced out of the array. Let's show you how that works. Again, I have the same array I've always had here. Here is the splice method. Now, it takes 2 arguments. The first argument is the index number of the element to remove, and the second argument is the number of elements to remove. So I want to remove 1 element starting at index number 2. Here's 0, here's 1, here's 2. So it should remove horse. And just like pop and just like shift, it will physically remove that element from the array, so it changes the original array and return that value. So I'm going to capture it within my variable here. Let's show you how that works. Yep, it did it. There's my original array. It returned to me horse. And now notice horse is not in the original array anymore. So again, splice will take elements from anywhere within the array, and you get to specify which element it takes out. Now, I want to show you something here is how will it work if you want to take multiple elements out? What will happen? Well, let me show you. Let's just clear that out. Go back down to here and magically bring up some code to show you. Yay, here we are. I am now saying I'm going to take out, starting at the 3rd index of my array, and take out 3 values. So what will happen is it will take out cat is 0, dog is 1, horse is 2, cow is number 3. So what it should take out of the original array is cow, coyote, and road runner. And what will happen is that when it returns it, first of all, obviously it'll take it out of the array, but what will return is it will return an array of those 3 elements. So I'm going to print it out by hard coding it here. There's my first animal, here's my second animal, here's my third animal. And I will also print out the animals again, just to kind of show you that it has indeed changed. So let's flip back over to Node. Yep, there we are. Again, here's my original array. Here are the 3 animals that were taken out of the array elements. That was element number 3, 4, and 5. And my original array is now missing the cow, the coyote, and a road runner. So again, splice is a wonderful way of being able to splice up your array in any way that you see fit. So you're not limited like you are with pop just to get it from the end of the array, or shift from getting it from the beginning. You can take elements out anywhere. And that's all there is to popping, shifting, and splicing elements out of an array. I hope you enjoyed our video. Hope I didn't bore you to death. Please check out all of our videos at www.boringjavascript.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, or check us out at blog.thevirtuoid.com. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later.